Okay, so if you've been keeping up on your videos, then you know what I did the other day was I covered moving in and making, and remember we were talking about the importance of the legs being really flexible and being really mobile kind of deal. And then in the next lesson, and using your calves to jump in and out. Oh, look at it snowing, fantastic, wonderful Canada. And then the second part we talked about moving side to side, not trying to bang with somebody. What the fighters do, the professional fighters do for entertainment, right? Everybody wants to see each other slug it out. So we're not into that. This is self-defense. So we're moving around, we're back and forth, we're in and out, okay, like this. And then we also learned how to close the distance. We learned the first tool about closing the distance, and that was a multifunctional tool. And these are your hands, and that's literally, they're multifunctional, but nonetheless, once you figure something's going on, okay, this is your measurement, and somebody comes into your space bubble, okay, then what do? Okay, you're back. It also, holding your hands up means that you're not going to be held legally liable, because it's more of kind of submissive, kind of, okay, I don't really want to, I'm just out having dinner with my friends, I'm just, go back, have another drink, blah, blah, whatever, like this, okay? So multi-reasons. Now this is right here, of course, it measures. Somebody gets into your personal space, then it's action time. Now, what are you going to do with that action time? One of the biggest tools you're going to have, and probably the thing that is the most important when it comes to self-defense, is figuring out what to do, to go in or to go out of that person's, jump in or out of the pocket. Okay, now if I've got somebody coming in to me, and they're coming in, and I've got, okay, buddy, I've got my hands up, or lady, or whatever, like this, and they're not submitting. They're not going back. They're not saying, okay, well, forget it, we'll talk about it, or whatever, like this. You can see that they want to do damage to you. You have two choices, okay? You have two choices. You can, okay, if they haven't already taken their first swing at you, of course, if they took your first swing at you, again, you have two choices. You can either close the distance, and some of you are going to go, what the heck, the guy's swinging at me, why would I close my distance? Hear me out, okay? You can close the distance, jump in and clench, okay? Or you can jump in and shoot down below, or you can do drop down and do an ankle pick way down, okay? Or if you want to stand up and just get the heck out of there, then there's the back and forth. Now, what is the smartest thing to do? Look, if you can't avoid it, the absolute number one smartest thing to do is close the distance towards them. I know you guys are going, what the heck, what's wrong with you? Did you have like a bad burrito for lunch or something like that? Actually, it wasn't that great, but nonetheless, it'll give me a bit of gas, but nonetheless, you want to take away their power. What am I saying here? Taking away their power. When I move in, if somebody comes in at me, if I move into their space, okay, I take away the power that they would have. I think we talked about this in time. Their kinetic energy, their potential energy to get wind up, and that potential energy to smoke you right in the bean and knock you out. Okay, you take that away instantly. They have to figure out what to do with that. Now, it also stops them, if they're a wrestler, if you get the jump on them first and get in there, it stops them from dropping down low and shooting in to take your legs out, okay? So this is important. So another thing this does, and guys at TFS, Target Focus System, do this real well, they weigh in on this really heavy, is the absolute devastation of the mass that is you. So when you're bringing in all 150 or 200 or 250 pounds of you into their pocket, which is what I always classify, this is your bubble, and if you're inside there, you're in their pocket, okay? When you bring that through with all force, okay, it's harder than a hit, okay? It may not have the pounds per square inch behind a punch, but it is able to move things and to jar things and to jar people up and get them off their game plan. If you can come in and you boom like this, what it does is it causes their hips to go back a bit, past where their what would I call their center of gravity is, okay? So I come in, somebody all of a sudden, gets their dukes up, and I'm like this, and all of a sudden I see them cock that fist, and I know that I have to deal with it. It isn't going to go away. I can't just go okay and get out, and I can sit there for a while and try to figure out what to do. But once they get into my pocket, I have to do something about it. Okay? So I get in with my full weight. Even just going like this, boom, in there is can be, in the right circumstance, can be devastating. But our idea, of course, is not just to come in and give them a bump, is it? Okay? So when we're in this kind of situation, we don't know what's going on. We know that lately in this world it's all gone nuts, and we may have to do, what do we call, what is the target focus system? They say we want to injure or we want to damage in order. Let me explain this. When I worked in the nightclub system, some guys high on adrenaline, high on coke, high on methamphetamines, drunk, feeling no pain. Sometimes it doesn't matter how many hits they got to the chest or to the eyes or to the nose. They could be bleeding all over. They're still going. They don't feel it. So you need to actually disable them. So when I say coming in, jumping into their pocket and hammering into them, I'm just giving you an example of the momentum you got going there and how you can throw them off balance. What you really want to do is you want to get in there in order to minimize their potential energy, and you control the system. So you may do that by clinching, and then eye gouging, fish hooking up to the nose, pulling the ear off, whatever like that, hitting to the throat like TFS does, okay? Or you may feel more comfortable, and we'll talk about this another time about comfort in your style, okay? You may feel more comfortable in getting the underhooks in, and lift and picking up and dropping, and then doing your damage, coming down full weight on top of them, and then doing your damage there to disable them so they cannot hurt you or your family, anything like that. But anyways, I want you to practice this now, okay? So once you get this in your head and it becomes muscle memory, if you're out and somebody comes in and they breach that bubble, instead of jumping back automatically, a lot of you, when you're ready to go, it'll become an automatic thing. As soon as they burst that bubble, they got the warning, they got into your system, you got into your eye, your personal space, your pocket, then it'll become automatic that you close the distance immediately. Okay? Now, like I said, there can be a number of things you do, and we'll go over that in a bit once you get into their pocket. But that right there, once you do that, is going to be the easiest thing for you to do. So some of you are going to say, what if the guy's huge? What if he's big? What if he's whatever like that? What if he gets his hands around you? We'll deal with that coming up in the next couple sessions. Okay. Now go practice.